From Weather Rampage WX to residents of the western half of Cuba and the islands surrounding this area of Cuba, this is a Hurricane Raphael warning statement. The National Weather Service National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida has issued a hurricane warning in effect for the western island of Cuba, its surrounding islands and provinces. The hurricane warning from Hurricane Raphael is in effect for the following areas in or around Cuba: the Cayman Islands, Cuban provinces of Pinar del Rio, Artemisa, La Habana, Mayabeque, Matanzas, and the Isle of Youth, the Cuban provinces of Villa Clara, Cienfuegos, Santa Espiritus, and Ciego de Avila, the Cuban provinces of Camagüey and Las Tunas. The Florida Keys, the Dry Tortugas, and areas east of the hurricane warning in Cuba will remain under a tropical storm warning from Raphael. Hurricane Raphael is expected to reach wind speeds around its eyewall center up to just shy of 100 miles per hour before hitting somewhere between Pinar del Rio to Havana to Matanzas, Cuba, after the storm crosses over the Gulf of Batabano. Then, as the hurricane passes over the western island of Cuba, the storm is expected to emerge in the Gulf of Mexico and move all the way to the Louisiana coastline. Uncertainty does exist as to exactly where the storm will hit, but most weather model data has the storm weakening to a low-end tropical storm before making landfall somewhere along the Louisiana coastline. Residents along the western Cuba coast should have hurricane plans and procedures rushed to completion, as Hurricane Raphael is expected to hit the western Cuba coast by 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. Wednesday afternoon, depending on how strong Hurricane Raphael will become. If the storm becomes stronger than anticipated, very high storm surges, very strong winds and flooding from storm surges, and very heavy rain could have destructive impacts on the western island of Cuba. We urge residents and visitors of the west part of the island of Cuba to evacuate immediately if you can, as the increasing risk of loss of life is becoming more possible. Here are your stats for Hurricane Raphael. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the eyewall center of Hurricane Raphael was located at latitude position 19.3 degrees north and longitude position 79.9 degrees west. The maximum sustained winds inside the eyewall center of Raphael were at 75 miles per hour and climbing. Hurricane Raphael was moving northwest at 15 miles per hour. The storm's minimum central pressure was at 987 millibars and falling, or at 29.15 inches and falling. Satellite imagery continues to reveal that the hurricane continues to breathe and ventilate, which tells us that the hurricane could likely be on a steady strengthening phase. The hurricane is also beginning to become more symmetrical and better organized as time passes. We will keep you updated at Weather Rampage WX on the latest information on Hurricane Raphael in the coming days. Stay tuned for more updates.